if you are following the Trump plan, which you're not, and we all know you're not, then why didn't you get them out by May 1st? And this wouldn't have happened.
Correct.
Besides, it wasn't the Taliban that he had the agreement with who performed the attack. It was ISIS-K. At least that's who's taking credit for it.
Right.
If there really is a difference between the two, they're not the ones who did it. So here it is, August, and now you still haven't withdrawn any of the Americans from there. So why didn't you take care of it then, if you're following the Trump plan that you keep blaming over the last several weeks?
And they keep claiming this mission is such a humanitarian mission. It's been screwed up from the beginning. You wouldn't have this mission.
Right.
So he is admitting that for 3.5 months he was president.
Yeah, and he did
nothing. Over that time, he failed to get Americans out of there.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Even if you don't have our military out of there, get the civilians out of there.
And the closing of the bases.
Yeah, you
that's criminal.
The first thing he did was to close Bagram, and he shouldn't have. He should have let Bagram open. We could have gotten everybody evacuated right from there. It was secure.
Yep.
We had a military presence. We could have used our air support around that. We could have crushed any resistance around Bagram Air Force Base. And that's the first thing he did, was take everybody out of there and leave our equipment to be stolen by the Taliban.
Quite literally, anybody that you cross paths with randomly today could have done a better job at this than Joe Biden.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Virtually anyone. Jeffy could have done a better job.
President Jeffy could have handled this.
Could have handled this better
far and away
Joe
better
Biden.
than Joe Biden.
Thank you.
Right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I think.
But what a weird and ridiculous, asinine excuse.
Yeah.
Look, did that happen or not? Did they have an agreement or not? Well, I guess so. First of all, you're not doing the agreement because the agreement was conditional, okay? And they haven't followed the conditions. So that's all out the window in the first place. But you've been saying you're following his plan. All right, then why didn't you follow his plan?
Right.
Why didn't you start withdrawing troops as soon as you took over on January 20th? Why didn't you start the process? January 21st, we're getting all Americans out of here. We're going to have them gone by May 1st. And the only ones we'll have left are a few Marines. And that's it. And then we're going to take those guys out. Okay. Well, that might have worked.
Yeah, and the Americans aren't upset about leaving Afghanistan. We're upset as how you did it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's exactly right.
And that needs to be said more often.
I will tell you now, though, I am upset we're leaving Afghanistan. I've completely changed my mind on leaving Afghanistan. We should not be leaving under these circumstances.
Oh, no.
Like, you've chased us out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
This has ruined our freaking military reputation.
That's for sure.
For maybe all time. And nobody is going to be worried about the United States anymore. No. What we should do is turn around and say, wait a minute. Okay, we're not leaving right now.
Yep.
Okay? We'll leave after this situation is stable. But first, we're going to take care of the freaking Taliban.
That's right. And we're going to take care of this explosion. Who did this? ISIS, you know? We're going to go and kick butt, take names. Then we'll leave.
Yes.
As he said yesterday, at a time of our choosing, we'll attack. Well, how about we now leave at a time of our choosing and not these imposed deadlines? And I swear, what a symbol of the president of the United States talking to a reporter from the opposite political persuasion network there, Fox News, and he's drawn to down the, he's like, oh, I'm so frustrated. I'm going to bury my head in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, be a leader. My gosh.
He can't because he's not. He's not.
And they made a point yesterday with all the talking heads that were out from the White House and other spokespeople of how, and he even went on in the speech about how fully engaged he has been. Mm-hmm. And he's been in touch with all of these people 24/7. I've been fully engaged. Have you?
No, he hasn't. And we know that for a fact.
Oh my gosh.
We know that for a fact because world leaders all over the place, our allies have said, we couldn't get a hold of him. I don't know where he disappeared to.
Well, the phone lines were down.
Yeah, right.
It took over 48 hours for Britain to get him on the phone.
Boris Johnson couldn't get him on the phone. Trudeau couldn't get him on the phone. Justin Trudeau tried him, tried Kamala,
I'm telling you.
tried Pelosi. He got all the way down to a non-elected official. You know, he finally got hold of
Hillary
freaking Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
But think
She's
about
walking
this.
on the beach for Bill's birthday. Yeah, what do you need?
Oh, that's a good picture.
No,
of
it's
the two
not
of
a
them.
good. No, it's not a good picture at all.
Oh,
There's
they're
nothing
lovely.
good about that
great.
picture. No.
They look great.
No,
That's a
I
handsome
know.
couple.
Yes, it is.
So wait a minute. Remember now, when this went down on a Sunday morning, okay,
Yep.
in America, he was in the middle of that. What was it, Thursday till Tuesday or Friday to Tuesday, where he had no public events, nothing. He was going to be at Camp David recharging or whatever was going on.
Blood transfusion.
Telling you, something big was happening medically, in my opinion, and he could not be disturbed for those 48. I don't know if they had to. It takes 2 days to get him out of this coma that this induced.
I'll tell you that. You know, people keep saying that we changed our mind, we changed our policy because conditions on the ground have changed. Well, so have I. Because conditions on the ground have changed, we shouldn't be getting out of Afghanistan right now. I don't know when we should leave. When eventually we should, but not now. Not now.
We leave after we get our allies and our American citizens that want to leave out. And then we get rid of ISIS-K or whatever variant is stuck there. And then we take care of the Taliban who let the ISIS-K through the gates. And we say, if you attempt anything in the future, we'll get you again.
We kill them all. But this has been a colossal failure of Joe Biden. By this time in Trump's presidency, how many books have been written about how terrible he was?
Right.
Is anybody writing the story about this?
Right.
About Joe Biden? 8 months into this debacle, he's already putting together the worst catastrophe in American military history. So we got that going for us. The border. Oh my gosh. Look at the border. It's worse than it's ever been. With an unaccompanied child situation that was far worse than Trump's. And everybody knows it. And nobody's paying attention to it. The media went ape crap when it was Trump. They're not saying a word now. The economy, we've got a labor shortage where restaurants are having to close because they can't find employees to work shifts to keep their restaurant open. We've got the worst inflation in decades. We have his canceling of the Keystone Pipeline and the drilling situation in America. We were energy independent. Now we're energy dependent again, thanks to Joe Biden. His handling of Cuba, how disastrous has that been? He squandered the whole opportunity in Cuba. He could have supported the Cubans who were ready for revolution and to overthrow a communist government. Nope, we're not going to. In fact, any Cubans who wind up here, we're going to send you somewhere else. I mean,
it goes on and on.
That's not to mention the scandals with his son.
Yep.
The scandal, his sexual assault scandal with Tara Reid and the smelling of hair of children and the just general creepiness of this guy with all women and the pinching of the nipple of the little girl that she attested to. You got his cognitive decline, which is a scandal that's beyond anything since Woodrow Wilson's strokes that left him incapacitated.
Okay, so you've named a couple of things.
Yeah, what else you got?
Afghanistan, and then you got Afghanistan. Okay, the biggest disaster in American history. The biggest foreign policy disaster we have ever seen in this country. It's time to impeach this guy. He needs to be impeached.